Hey everybody, Southern Sage back again. And today we're going to talk about what to do when something goes wrong with your compost pile. So this is a follow-up. Tomorrow the video will be on how do you build a compost pile. So there's only 3 things that can go wrong in a compost pile, and they're all easy to identify and they're all easy to fix. Okay, so I think a lot of people hear compost and carbon and nitrogen ratios and it all sounds scary, and what if I do it wrong? And that's understandable. But the reality is you're not going to do this catastrophically wrong. And if you do get something wrong, it's easy to fix. So problem number 1 is getting too much carbon or brown matter. It means you don't have enough nitrogen. You will know this happens if your pile doesn't heat up. Like a healthy compost pile, a day or so after you build it should feel very warm. If you put your hand anywhere near it, you should feel the heat radiating off of it. If that doesn't happen, then you need more nitrogen. You need more green matter. So you can fix that by adding manure. Fresh manure is a great source of green matter. If you don't have that handy, depending on what you built your pile with, food scraps are usually pretty high in nitrogen. You can also add blood meal. It's an organic, it's dehydrated blood. It's very high in nitrogen and iron. You can also, if you're not queasy about it, collect some urine and pour that in the pile, and that will kickstart it right quick. Okay, so if your pile's not heating up, you need to add nitrogen. If you have a really big compost pile, like the one you're going to see in the next video I post, you may have to return the pile to mix that nitrogen through. If it's a smaller pile, then you may be able to just add it on top. Okay, so that's problem number 1. Problem number 2, right, I told you there were 3, is if your pile heats up too much. So there is a threshold where it is too much and you're actually burning and losing a lot of nutrients. Now, when I say burning, I don't mean actually catching on fire. So careful thing there. And so if that's the case, then you need to add more brown and more air usually. So in that case, you're going to get something like leaves or straw are great. Shredded paper is also frankly pretty awesome, or shredded cardboard. Do make sure it's shredded, don't just add whole sheets of cardboard, and return the pile, adding in some layers of those materials to balance it out a little bit better, and then you should get a pretty consistent heat. Okay, so adding carbon is pretty easy. The third thing that can be wrong is that your pile gets super slimy, anaerobic, or super dry. So moisture. If your pile gets super slimy, it's probably also got too much nitrogen. You probably used a whole bunch of grass clippings, because they are terrible about doing this. And what you need to add is something fluffier, right? So old hay is great for this. Old straw is great for this. Shredded leaves are great for this. You just need to get some air in the pile, right? So you're going to, again, return it, and you're going to add some fluffy stuff layers in between the layers of what you've already done. Make sure they're dry also, because you can waterlog a pile, and then it won't heat up because it's just too wet. So the flip of that, of course, is if it's too dry, because the microbes that are going to digest all this stuff and turn it into amazing plant food, compost, do need some moisture. So if it's too dry, make a little like volcano-y divot in the top of the pile and add a bunch of water, or wait for it to rain. That works too, if your pile isn't covered. So that's about all there is to it. That's really the only 3 things that you can have go wrong. You can have too much carbon, not enough nitrogen, add nitrogen. You can have too much nitrogen, not enough carbon, add carbon. Or you can have the wrong amount of water. And in all those cases, the solution's pretty easy. You haven't broken anything. Your end result is okay. So calm down and make a compost pile. All right? Now, if you like this video, hit like, subscribe to the channel. I look forward to hearing from you on what else you'd like to learn about. Thanks.